2 of the Lifejacket intervention that we did this morning up in Northern Virginia. This lady's on the way to treatment today. Right now, she's in an airplane headed to West Palm Beach, Florida. Quality program. One, they do a lot of work. They treat mind, body, spirit. You know, they're not just going to come at one angle of this illness because we've got a threefold illness. You know, so that's where I see a lot of treatment kind of falter. Is they just want to focus on one leg of a three-legged stool. You know, and this program will work on all three legs of the stool, mind, body, and spirit. And and she has some major health conditions that they're suited for that. We're just delighted, you know, that she's on the plane headed to treatment today. So what's going to happen? Transport's is flying with her, Charmaine's, and she's in good hands. She's going to probably have to stay with her in a hotel tonight till we get some doctor records down there that we just couldn't get. In cases like this, you have to have the patient's permission to release documents. So we had to get that from her today, and then the doctor's records will be released tomorrow, and so we'll get her admitted into the program tomorrow morning. So that's good. But she's in safe hands. She's with the transport. Transport's going to kind of sit with her and keep her company and keep her grounded a little bit. Now, she's not happy. She's not happy at all that she's on a plane headed to treatment. But we're all right with that. We're all right with her not being happy right now. I know everyone else is, and she's in a little bit of delusion around her illness, and that's expected. And see, what happens is that families go for years expecting their loved one to make a good decision around their health care when their experiences are showing them that they really can't do that right now. She was cardiac arrest back in June as a result of her illness, and had to wear a cardiac vest now. And she was, talking about how well she was, and it's just as obvious that she wasn't. So how this went down is we had planned. The employer had asked her to come into the office today for a meeting, and we had the family out back. And when she came into the office, Charmaine and I came in and introduced ourselves and sat down and talked with her for a little bit and explained to her what was going on and what we were seeing and what the family was seeing, and that we had some family members and friends that had come from a long ways to tell her some things. So we had an opportunity, Charmaine and I did, to kind of settle her down prep her before we brought the family in. And we were very strategic at who we brought in first. Now, we brought everyone in at the same time, but it was very important to who came through the door first. So first one to come through the door was one of her best friends that she hadn't seen in about 6 years. Luck and alcoholism can kind of split families and friends apart. This was a perfect example of that. So it was that shock and warm the heartstring kind of take on that. And the next one through the door was her uncle that came from a long ways away to be a part of this thing. De-escalated her anger briefly when we brought the people in like we did. And it was a big intervention. There was a lot of people, and it took a while to read the letters, but I'll tell you what, they were very powerful letters. And I love to see it because the families, when they're at the rehearsal and before the rehearsal, they're just so fear-driven and so stricken with fear and anxiety. But with a proper rehearsal, with good coaching, and with their willingness to push forward, when they came into that intervention today, they sat down and you could just feel the difference in the room. You could feel it. I mean, there was a power coming over everyone, and they were there ready to do business. And there were a lot of tears, and there was no anger, there was no shaming, there was no pointing fingers. And the value of a good intervention too is that you don't have that dialogue going back and forth. Well, you said this, well, you said that, and she, left alone, she would have a lot of rebuttals to everything they were saying. Invalid, of course, but she would have them. We kind of shut all that off because we're running the intervention, right? So we're dictating who's saying what and when. And it just went just like that. She was angry. Now, look, she was mad, and she got mad again, and then she wasn't mad, and then she got mad again, and then she went to tears, and that's normal. I mean, think about it. If you don't have an alcohol or a drug problem, and somebody comes into you and says, hey, look, basically what we're saying is, look, forget what you had going on over the next 35, 40 days. you won't get on a plane with a stranger and completely uproot your life. You be a little upset about that. Yeah, well, I mean, that's normal, right? So we expect that, and I understand that. But we had some strong boundaries too. We had a family who was ready to play hardball, and an employer too. The employer was like, look, I'm willing to support you. And this is great when you have the employer that's willing to do this. It's always a home run when we got the employer on board and the employer's ready to be a part of this thing. And what a great employer too. I mean, her heart was fully into this deal and really just wanted the best for her. And look, we're not here to force you to go to treatment, and we make that clear. Like, we're not here to force you. We can't force you. I don't have any handcuffs on me. We don't do that. And the family is telling her, say, look, we're not here to make you go to treatment. We're only simply saying what we will not allow. And look, we had the danger, a child that was being affected by this thing. And so we made sure that she was safe, made sure that she's going to be safe, made sure that she's going to get the help that she needs as a child growing up in a household with addiction and alcoholism. And so right now we got some good stuff going on. This is a typical family. This is an average family. This is a great family. All the families that I work with seem to just be really great people, and they just had enough, and they're ready to follow directions. And now their life is completely changed, all of them. There's some hope out here. Now, that's not saying, that this is going to be an A1 home run and this girl's going to have sobriety mirror. There's still a lot of work to do, but we're going to keep you updated on the families that are part of this intervention. When I tell them what I'm doing, they love all the prayers y'all are sending their way, and it helps. It works. Prayer helps. And so if you like this and pass it along, share it, like it. We're on YouTube. If you do that, subscribe, whatever you got to do, like it, click it, share it, whatever. And I'm going to back out for this evening. I'm going to eat some crab, and I'm going to sit by the water and enjoy this day.